All right, welcome back, everyone, to a special episode of Mix with Vic. I have with me today Aaron Arao, who you might recognize from an earlier podcast. But today we're going to be doing a content creators Would You Rather. I thought that sounded like a fun idea. And I haven't heard any of his questions, and he hasn't heard any of mine. But basically, we're just going to, ask them back and forth, and, we can also answer our own questions too, but I just think it'll be really interesting to hear what we both think about certain things, and if we come up with any others on the spot too, we can do that as well. But I'll kick it off with would you rather know how to use the entire Adobe suite perfectly or be given $15,000 to buy gear?
Oh, definitely just the knowledge. Yeah, straight up. I think, just the knowledge. Like, I only know, I would say, Audition. I only know Premiere Pro and Lightroom the most. But besides those, like, very little After Effects, very little Adobe Audition, and then Illustrator and Photoshop. And then, but I could already do a lot with that. But I imagine, like, the whole Adobe suite with, like, the animation, the graphics.
Yeah, it'd be nuts. And I feel like it goes back to, like, at least for me, like, time is more valuable than money. And, the amount of time it would take to master all of that. And I couldn't even imagine how much your projects could step up if you knew how to use everything perfectly, and, like, so it wouldn't even take you that long to do jobs that, like, if you asked me to go into Audition, because I've only done, like, one thing in Audition, it would take me forever. I'd be searching for videos on how to do something. And then, but yeah, I thought that would be an interesting question, because I feel like $15,000 worth of, like, camera gear can really get someone in the right direction. I mean, you could get a cheaper and cinema camera, you could get a dope DSLR, you could get a bunch of lights, audio equipment. Like, I mean, you could start a YouTube channel and make it look really good with 15 grand,
Yeah.
So
I think if you were to ask me, like, 4 years ago, then I'd probably choose the money, because I definitely had to put in money for the equipment now. Like, because when I was first starting out, I couldn't even run the programs on my laptop.
The computer alone, man. But I mean, I guess depending what kind of computer you get, 15 grand might just cover the computer.
So.
Yeah. Gotcha. Cool.
Actually, so I have something similar. So I know you're, like, Premiere Pro and Adobe Suite like me. So Final Cut Pro for free, or Adobe Suite one-time payment, $100,000. What would you do?
$100,000?
One time.
I don't even know if I'll spend $100,000 on it in my lifetime.
Oh yeah, I didn't really calculate. I just chose the number.
I mean, well, there's no way I could afford $100,000 like that. So I guess I'm learning Final Cut. That would be real. I mean, yeah.
So how much do you think you would spend, though, in your lifetime?
I don't know. Let's do a quick little math on that. So I think right now mine's like I think it's like $17 a month, only because my wife's, like, teachers.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, I thought you were, like, running 80. Yeah,
well, so before that it was like I think it was like $60 a month. But yeah, all right, so let's say it was 60 times 12, so that's in a year, so that's $720 a year. So say I'm 25, say I edited for another 50 years. Yeah, that's only 36 grand. I'm definitely taking Final Cut.
I just chose a big number. I didn't really calculate it, but yeah, okay.
Yeah. I guess you would take Final Cut too, then? Or are you paying triple the price for Adobe?
Probably Final Cut, yeah.
That would really suck, though, to be like, you can't use Adobe anymore. Like, if Adobe just went out of business, which I don't think they ever would, and then they just stopped updating their software, and then it's like, now you got to learn something else, that would suck.
Yeah.
All the ways. I mean, there goes my YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
Like, After Effects, no. That would suck. And that's actually a good... I wonder how my YouTube channel will age in the future. Like, if ever they come along with a software that just kind of eradicates After Effects or Premiere. And then there's like, those are too outdated. We're going with this new like Adobe, I don't know, Adobe Cinema or something like that. And it's like the all around like one-stop shop, way easier to use, all these things like that. And that would suck just because I think people would stop looking at old tutorials. Like I would just pivot and start learning that stuff. But you know, all those videos in the past would probably just be worthless.
Yeah, maybe that'd be crazy.
That would suck. I haven't thought about that.
I feel like, yeah, Adobe though is in a good standing where like they've bought out other programs just so they can die. Yeah. So that other people could use Adobe. So hopefully that kind of goes in that direction where like Adobe's on top. Yeah. In a way.
Cool. Next question I got for you is, would you rather be featured on your favorite YouTuber's channel once after spending the entire day hanging out with that person or that group or whatever it is, or have 100,000 of your own subs and just go from there?
Right, so yeah, the first one, we hang out and just
you hang out all day and you get featured on them. So like if it's in your same niche, like your favorite YouTuber, they're like trying to turn people onto you.
And then whatnot. The 100,000 subs are those like authentic?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Ooh, that's a very good question. I'm like debating like the knowledge of that I could gain from like the person versus like my own presence online.
Plus experience. Like that would be so cool. You know, like I could think of a bunch of YouTubers that I wish I could, you know, spend the day with.
Yeah.
But
I definitely think, the knowledge from the person is more worth than like my own 100,000 subs. So I would go with the creator.
So for me, when I was thinking about this one, I was thinking it would either be Peter Mckinnon or a channel called Corridor Digital. Both of them have huge channels. And so if I spent the day with them and were in one of their videos, I would probably likely end up, you know, getting lots of people from their channel who would then like, you know, discover me and then just naturally subscribe. But like, that experience of spending the day with them, like picking their brain, you know, like getting to meet them would be really cool.
Yeah.
But then like if you're just trying to look for like a specific, like what is going to help my business, my brand the most, I don't even know if like 100,000 subs or that would be better. Cause it's like, I don't think if you got featured on anyone's channel, you would get an instant 100,000, you know? And so but if you had 100,000, you might just get their attention anyway and just form a natural like friendship with people who are, you know, in a similar niche. So it's like, I really don't know what I would do. I think I would be on those people's channels for the day.
Yeah.
I think that would be better. That's so tough. Like even as I say, I'm like, I don't know.
Like an interesting case that it reminds me of like Dan Mace. He was featured by Casey Neistat, and then he got so many subs from that. But after he would post, he would lose subscribers. Yeah, because they subscribed only because he was featured.
And he was on his channel quite frequently too. So it's like, how long did it take him to? Right? Wasn't he on there like every now and then, you know? Like
for like a good minute.
Yeah, like back when they were living in New York and stuff. That is a good question. Because, I mean, maybe those people don't like you for you, at least at first. And then, it's like then you have to weed out the people who weren't very serious in the first place. That one's a hard one.
Yeah. But that also similar to one I have here. Let me find it. So, knowing you, would you rather work with Peter Mckinnon or Jaden Smith?
Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, like, is this like a long-term relationship or is this like a job?
I'd say, which one's more interesting for you?
God.
I was gonna say a job, like a first instinct, but
So it really sucks because like the job, Jaden Smith is really appealing to me because it's like, wow, I got to do this project with him, and like I can be proud about what we created, but then I don't know if that relationship lasts after that. Whereas I feel like if I did a job with Peter Mckinnon, that relationship would last, and like as well as being really cool. So, man, I feel like I'd probably choose Peter McKinnon.
Peter McKinnon.
Yeah, because, I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's really hard. But, yeah, I'd take Peter McKinnon.
Yeah, I would probably choose Peter McKinnon, too. I'm not...
Over your favorite artist?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Over my favorite artist. Yeah, that's a better question. I was thinking just Jaden Smith.
Yeah, well, if you don't like Jaden Smith, that's
yeah,
not that fair.
It's not that pretty simple, but let's see. Favorite artist. Yeah, probably Peter McKinnon.
Yeah.
Just going with it now. I'd probably have to think about it for a long minute, but yeah, just my gut right now, just Peter McKinnon.
Yeah. And, like, it's not even, like, just to say, like, you're, like, trying to, like, chase, like, some sort of clout or whatever, but he's been a huge inspiration and motivation. And he genuinely seems like a good guy too. So it's like, seems like that would be like the right move. It would feel right. Whereas like, you know, with a music video, like unless you make something really special, I feel like they kind of die in under a year, you know? Like unless you have some crazy visual, like for me, one would be like A$AP Rocky's LSD. Like I feel like that music video will always be insane to me. But like, I don't know, songs become irrelevant if they didn't hit like that classic, you know, mark.
Yeah.
Like, when I feel like that's really rare to do. So I feel like it just would be more worth it with the Peter McKinnon.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just like I found him. Yeah, same story with you. Just trying to learn. And like being able to like just meet with him and like work with him, I think that would be awesome.
Yeah. All right. I've got one that's pretty similar to that, which is would you rather be your favorite actor's, or I guess celebrity, personal content creator, or have your own successful brand? And I'll just define that as like 100K on YouTube and like similar platforms, so people are there for you and what you create and you're growing.
That's a good question.
So that'd be like, when I think about this, like Will Smith's one of his creators, like Jazz.
Dude, I was thinking of him too.
Yeah, like I mean, he's incredible, and through that I have found him and like I follow him for him. And, you know, like his stuff just blows me away. And so it's like with the actor thing or celebrity, you might be able to get the best of both worlds. Like it seems like he has. But.
Yeah, let me think. Part of me feels like I want to be more of like having my own brand sort of thing, rather than, even though I think it is possible to have the like both, like what you said for Will Smith. I just like right now I don't want to be like separated. I don't know, like that's the only thing it's kind of hinting towards me, or like
what do you mean by separated?
Like in the content I want to create, and like there might be like just some limitations in like what I can do, I feel like, and just because of that, I'd want to segue to like my own brand. But that's just my very first instinct. I probably have to think about it more for like a real.
I think my instinct is that too, because I just think about how the dream for me is to just do whatever I want. And so if that means a celebrity came around and wanted work from me, then we do some work. But I honestly don't think I would fully enjoy being a celebrity's go-to person forever, because first of all, that means like you'll have to be uprooted for the most part, unless you're just editing. Like you'll have to follow them around everywhere, which could be cool for a while, but if you ever want to settle down and whatnot, like I also think of like The Rock. I can only imagine how cool the experiences that his videographer has gotten, and like just it's got to be incredible. But I feel like it's also got to be exhausting. And at the same time, I feel like I would just rather be here, do my own thing, and then, you know, like take whatever job I want as things come, and not have like an established long relationship with someone unless I get a feel for it and it like, you know, then it's cool. 'Cause I think when it comes down to it, I just want freedom to do what I want.
That flexibility is really important, like with anything. And like, I think that's where the passion and like the enjoyment really comes from, like definitely a part of it, especially what you're doing. But yeah. So let's see here. Debating if I want to go more technical or like physical. Let's see. Would you rather have bad autofocus or bad color science?
I've already got bad autofocus.
Oh, okay.
I'm starting to get pretty decent at just doing manual focus with like a monitor and, you know, just looking at the focus peaking. Yeah, because when I went to West Virginia for the 4 music videos with my old roommate, I was relying on autofocus that day, and it was the most gut-wrenching feeling that after a full day of shooting and like an entire music video, which was going to be like the biggest music video, and it's that song is what the whole album is named after. So much of that footage was out of focus. It like the focus was just searching. On my camera, it shows it locked onto the face, like the tracking box or whatever, and it's just lying to me. And it's like, God. And I find it when I do 4K as opposed to full HD. When I do 4K, it's just doesn't know what the hell it's looking at.
No, okay then.
Yeah, so I would rather have the bad autofocus because I feel like I already do have it.
Just switch to manual anyways.
Yeah. Like I'm super careful now. Like, and if we're doing like a shot like this, I hit the zoom in button till it's like times 10 to make sure it's like perfectly focused on you, and then I'll lock it and then, you know, come back. But yeah, what about you?
Well, before hearing that, I was gonna go with bad. No, wait, was I? Honestly, yeah. I think I pinpointed it to low light first, like which I autofocus or can't perform in low light, and I chose the autofocus, or I chose bad and low light, but color science is kind of more trickier for me for some reason.
Yeah.
Hearing that, like after your story, I'd probably pick the bad autofocus anyways.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't have a very great monitor for my camera, but I can only imagine if I got a better monitor, how much easier it would get to and how much more accurate I could be. But yeah, honestly, the autofocus feels like a crutch for me in most instances. Pretty much the only time I use it is like for my YouTube videos, because the lighting is pretty much perfect to where it can lock onto my face no problem. So if I move in or out, it's got me. Okay. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like, because I mean, obviously focus is super important, and if nothing's in focus, then your entire project's bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like, it just takes a little bit to get used to, and just playing around with it, you know, all that practice. But it's definitely doable.
Would you rather have a cool narration voice, or could rap as as best as your favorite artist?
Oh, the rapping for sure. I mean, having, you know, a narration voice like Morgan Freeman's would be pretty dope. But I mean, like I don't even know if you know this, or I'm guessing almost no one on my channel knows, but I used to rap for a short amount of time.
I remember.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
And like I didn't rap long enough to really get that good. I felt like I finally started finding a flow, and then I chose video over music, and I'm glad that I did. But like, I feel like that would be so cool to just be like as good as Eminem. I mean, that'd be nuts.
Yeah, that would be.
And then I could do two things. And, like, if I didn't even have to work for it either, because that was like something about music and like when I was learning, because I think I did it for like 2 years. It was just constant work, like just constantly writing, constantly practicing, constantly doing all that. So it's like tons of time. But if I didn't have to work for it, that would be crazy. Just so effortless. Every party, someone's like, "Oh, it's freestyle." Like, "Oh, you don't want it."
Yeah.
Here it comes.
Yeah, me and my friends freestyle so much.
Yeah, honestly. It's fun.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely pick. I also like singing though. Like I'm more of a singer rather than a rapper. But I think you could implement as long as you have like the knowledge to play with words, I think, and like the voice, then I think you can do both.
So favorite singer, we talking like The Weeknd? Who's your number one?
Let's see. I'm not sure if you know him, but it's Quinn 92.
I've heard of him. Like, isn't it spelled with like Roman numerals?
Yeah, gotcha, he's one of my favorites. I definitely hard to choose, but he's up there. So yeah. I would just say him for instance.
Gotcha. That's cool. On the topic of that, I feel like this is closely related. Would you rather work with Spielberg, Christopher Nolan, or Quentin Tarantino? And that could be like in any effect, like you're either the actor, you could be like assistant director, the DP, producer, anything like that. You could even just be his production assistant if that's what makes you feel most comfortable. Get his coffee.
Yeah. Huh.
But I mean, you would basically just get to witness the whole process of the movie and like probably pick his brain and all that.
I'm honestly like most familiar with only Spielberg.
Really?
Honestly. So it'd probably just have to be him just because of that. But as for like the position I would play, I want to be tossed into acting for some reason.
It'd be so cool. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I don't know. I want to say like all of us have thought like how cool it'd be to be in a movie, but I don't know if that's true because some people hate being on camera. But I've thought that constantly. And sometimes when you watch people who are so good at what they do, they just make it look easy, and you're like, oh, I could do that. Like, I could act. And but yeah, like with a movie like that, like could you just see yourself in like Jurassic Park or something like that? That'd be nuts. That'd be so cool. Just like right alongside Chris Pratt. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, see, when I was trying to pick directors, I was trying to pick like well-known directors, but I was like, I don't know who he likes and who I don't know, like that you would tend to not like. I wanted it to be hard to choose, but that apparently is too easy. But
yeah, honestly, I feel like that's a side of me that I need to expand on.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, I mean, Spielberg, like, it's like hard not to choose him because he's made so many good movies, but I would definitely choose Nolan because like his movies are just like mind-bending. And I feel like every time one of those comes out, a Christopher Nolan movie, everyone's like, I gotta go see this. Like, Tenet or Inception, Dark Knight trilogy, like he's just a monster. And so it's like, I feel like if I were working on that Tenet movie as like an actor, I would have just been like, I feel like you would understand the movie 100 times better if you're acting in it than if you watched it once or twice or whatever. Yeah. And I feel like that would be even more entertaining is like seeing like how his brain works because it clearly is not normal, so that's pretty sweet.
Okay, well, I have like a lot of equipment wise ones, so I feel like it'd be interesting if I'm gonna ask 3.
Okay,
give me like first instant answers,
like speed round.
Okay, yeah. Speed round. So airdrop or faster export speeds?
Oh, faster export speeds.
Okay. Super 8 or red Komodo?
Red Komodo.
Black Pro Mist or ND filters? You can only choose one.
Black Pro Mist.
Okay. I would choose.
Wait.
Yeah, that's ND filters.
I took that ND filter because then you would never be able to shoot in a low aperture outside. That would suck.
That's so ND filters. I'm honestly gearing towards Super 8 for some reason, and I have to go with airdrop.
AirDrop's super nice, but for some reason my freaking Mac Mini M1 it will only airdrop me a file if I put it on the desktop. Like, it won't go from my hard drive over to me. And so it's really annoying. Like, when I finish a music video or something, and it will like just freeze up and I have to hit escape. That's really annoying. And so then I have to like transfer it to the desktop or put it on like the iCloud photos, which totally defeats the purpose of having an Apple, because that's one of the coolest features.
That's like,
Yeah, so I'm just like...
selling points for me.
But yeah, I mean, if they could figure that out, then maybe... But I don't know. I constantly have to export things and re-export things and re-export things. And so it's just like, during that time, honestly, it takes so much computing power that it's like, I just don't do anything with the computer. But then like the times will be like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So then I end up just sitting there on my phone and I'm like, I'm wasting time here. It would be really nice if it was just done like that and then I can move on. But all right. Would you rather have a second home in either New York or Los Angeles?
I would want New York because it's farther from home. That's, and like also because of, honestly, don't like danger wise, I don't know, for some reason I felt better with choosing New York. I'm not like
it's more dangerous or less dangerous?
It's less dangerous, but I don't know. Like, I've just been recently talking about LA with my friends, and they said that there's gangs, of course, and there's stuff there. So I haven't heard too much about New York though. So that's obviously why I'm gearing towards it. And
I'm guessing they're both wild, but definitely LA is. That's for sure.
Yeah, and as for opportunity, like, I definitely think both, and so I don't think I can't go wrong with either LA or New York. But the fact that it's on the other side of the country, I think is very nice. Like, you could just drive to LA, but as for New York, you're in a different place. Yeah. So
it would be nice too if like you're traveling to Europe and then you're like, oh, I'll just fly to New York, stay there for a couple days, and then have a not so long flight to Europe, where it's like you would have had to like have some long layover and then spend 18 hours flying instead of like having a little break in between. And also, if you're going off of like the average place in New York versus the average place in Los Angeles, your place in New York will probably be worth way more. Oh yeah. Just because their apartments there are stupid expensive.
Mm-hmm. So that's definitely good.
But yeah, I didn't want to put in there like equivalent to like $1 million, because I feel like that would sway you into LA, because I think if you're like buying an apartment, I don't think you find many for $1 million. I don't know enough about New York, but you'd probably get a dump for $1 million.
Yeah. So yeah, knowing that, I'd probably choose LA.
Gotcha. What would I do? I didn't even think about this one for myself. I think I will. Yeah, I don't know. It's like I want to say LA because now I know it a little bit, and it's like I like it because it is closer and because it's like so many. I mean, I know tons of jobs happen in both places, but I also other flip of the coins. Like, I feel like LA's been dying the last year, and I guess New York has been too. And so I don't know. Regardless, you're gonna get screwed on taxes unless like you can like just pay them all here in Nevada if you have a place here. But I don't know. Probably I don't even know what to say. I'd probably just do LA, just because that's more of what I know. Like, I've been to New York once and it was really cool, but I guess if I did New York, it'd be more as like a vacation spot. If I did LA, it'd be more of like I could go there to vacation and then also work if I want to, and then have like a Disneyland house. Like, let's go to Disneyland.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm sure my wife would appreciate that.
That's
for
definitely
Disneyland.
Some good pointers.
And it's warm. It'd be really cool to like escape the Reno freeze every now and then. And if you like didn't have to, if you weren't like strapped on money and like obligations here, you could just be like, yeah, I'm gonna go to my nice home in Malibu for like November, December. Like, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, that would be nice.
But Yeah, and you would definitely get more space for like that. New York would be a little crammed.
Definitely.
But yeah, that's my thought.
Let's see here. This actually might be my last one, I think.
Okay.
Something crazy. It's just, would you rather learn how to like do the FPV drone, like with the goggles on, or be better at motion graphics?
Motion graphics like titling.
Yeah, and like anything text wise and like.
I do FPV drone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even though flying drones scares me, I find motion graphics to be incredibly boring. I hate working on them, and if I was good at them, it's not like I would still enjoy doing it. I would be like,
okay.
I don't want to do it still. Like I hate, like, one of my least favorite things to do on a video is add titling or captions, and like when I do projects now, I always tell people like I won't write your captions. Like if you want everything to be written out on the bottom, like you'll have to find someone else because it takes so long to do it. Yeah. And they just need a better way of captioning videos accurately for everyone, not just like if you upload it to YouTube or if you pay for like a subscription service. I wish there was just like one thing that had it to like 99.9% correct. But yeah, what about you?
Honestly, I think I do enjoy it. So like that's why it's a debate for me. One, I never had a drone though. That's the thing. So, and
once you get one, you realize it's like a lot of responsibility when you start thinking like legally how you could get in trouble if you like crashed into someone or something.
Oh, okay.
Like that would suck.
Yeah.
I'm terrified of that. Like if I hurt someone or,
Ooh, yeah.
And it's probably not even realistic with like drone built-in regulation stuff, but like I worry about flying and then like like an emergency helicopter flying by and it hitting the rudder and like the whole thing just goes down. Something that wasn't supposed to happen. Like you obviously know where planes fly most of the time, but like if like a police chopper, like a fire crew one flew over out of nowhere, and then you took down an entire helicopter just because of that. Oh no.
That'd be bad.
I don't know if it's possible. I'm guessing it is. Because like when fires happen here, and people fly their drones over the fires, the police shoot them down.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, and they have to like constantly put on the news like don't fly your drones over here, and I'm guessing it's because of the helicopters, and probably they don't leave it to the news to show people a fire, rather than yourself. But yeah. So you would take the motion graphics or the drone?
I'm still not sure. I'm trying to think for myself. I don't want your thoughts to persuade me.
I mean, I still took the drone.
Yeah.
It would be cool to know how to do it, but I don't know if I'd even use it a lot.
Yeah. That's my question. Like, would I even use it? Honestly, I think, motion graphics.
Yeah.
Take motion graphics. I enjoy it, like the simplicity of things. Yeah, for some reason I really like it. So
I think like for me it's like I feel like I don't have the creativity in like the eye for motion graphics. Like I know when one looks good, but when I try and think of a new type of motion graphic, like what could I do here to make this look good, I feel like I lack that creative touch to it.
Oh, I see.
And then on top of that, it can get a little confusing when you're like trying to work on that stuff in like After Effects or something. It's pretty frustrating.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what I got here. One that I forgot to write down, but I'm remembering now, so I'll ask you, is would you rather be a colorblind editor or a one-armed editor? Because that would slow you down considerably if you had one arm. Not impossible, though.
Colorblind. So does that mean like colors are gray or like colors are shifted? Like not accurate?
I don't even know what the correct colorblind is.
I think well, to my knowledge, I think it's just like red and green color blindness is like the most common. So like those colors become gray.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I think I'm sorry guys if I don't.
Yeah, I don't even know. Let's say the things are gray.
Okay, so things are gray versus well, I wouldn't want to be colorblind in general though, like cuz
that would suck.
Yeah, like
it goes way beyond editing. Like your whole life
editing,
you would never be able to see. I mean, I guess I really don't know what it's like, but they call it colorblind for a reason, and it would suck to not see true colors.
So are we saying like just while editing maybe? Or
nope, forever. I mean, like, and like have no arm forever too. Like,
okay. That's tough. Probably, dude. That's a tough one. Because when you're shooting too, like, yeah, that's a big difference.
Yeah. Well, this question I originally thought of because I was thinking, how bad my life would be disrupted if I lost a leg or an arm. I mean, obviously everyone's would be, but like everything I do, like whether I'm shooting, like I'm standing, I'm holding a camera with two hands, I'm doing, those things, and like, and I was thinking, probably lose the leg because my wife was telling me that like, like prosthetics are pretty good these days and you could probably still stand if you worked at it and if you got a good one and whatnot. So I was like, okay, then maybe I'd lose a leg. But the arm and the color blindness one, I was like, because both affect you differently as an editor and even shooting videos.
Yeah, that's tough. Let's see. So, two hands versus... Honestly, just the accuracy to the truth and to like my creativity of like what I'm trying to go for, I think that outweighs the comfort of like my arm. So like I want to be able to see the real colors others will be seeing, even though I feel like everyone interprets colors like in some way like differently just because of the eyes, but just to get as close as I can to know what they're seeing, to be able to like create what like is in my head like most accurately like on the screen. Yeah, that definitely I feel like outweighs the comfort of having to do it. But
I would take the opposite.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, just because like, I mean, I just feel like my whole day-to-day life would be way worse without two arms than not seeing colors. Like I think I'd be more depressed without seeing colors, but I think without seeing arms I would be like super inconvenienced all the time. And I mean, for one, like I drive a manual. I would just be like, that would suck. If that's even my right arm, maybe it's my left, and then
Oh yeah. See, I don't think about this stuff before, but okay, I'm sticking with it.
He sent it. Lop his arm off. Where's the other one? All right, I have three more. We can do them speed rounds because they're pretty straightforward.
Okay.
Yeah. Would you rather have 1 million subs on YouTube or 1 million on TikTok?
1 million on YouTube. Okay.
And then would you rather be given a red Komodo or a Canon R5 with one L series lens? So the red Komodo has no lens. The R5 comes with an L series lens.
Canon R5.
And then would you rather have worked on Game of Thrones or the Lord of the Rings trilogy?
Game of Thrones. Okay. There we go.
I would say 1 million on YouTube, the red Komodo, and then Lord of the Rings.
I see.
So I think I literally said, everything opposite except YouTube was the thing. Did you so have you seen both Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings?
I've seen neither. I just know.
Oh, what? Oh my God. That was the worst question to ask you.
Sorry. Yeah.
Dude, how?
I just know, I know both of those are heavily invested in like time and sometimes even though I know they're great, sometimes I'm always scared to do that because I don't want to sometimes I don't have self-control to be like not binge like 2 seasons or something like that. So I kind of avoid like really, you know, good stuff like that sometimes, just to focus on like projects rather than. But so
yeah. Well, if you ever do get around to Lord of the Rings, I feel like Lord of the Rings and the Dark Knight trilogy to me are the like best examples of what a trilogy can be. Like to me, especially Lord of the Rings, even more so than the Dark Knight trilogy, I think, is like perfect. And it's so old, you know, like early 2000s, but the graphics hold up incredibly because like they just went the lengths to do like as much as they could practically. And I mean, the story's amazing. Everything's just like the cast is insane. If you ever have, I think it's probably like 10 hours of movie to watch just in 3 movies, because the third one's like 3.5 hours, and then the second one's like 2.5 hours. I think the first one's like 2 hours. So yeah, somewhere around there, like 8-9 hours. But super good. And like I like Game of Thrones, but I felt like they ruined it with the last season.
I heard about that.
It felt rushed.
Yeah.
And like really different from what I had seen the entire time. But I mean, obviously they're both super good, but yeah, it's interesting.
I have seen the Batman trilogy though, so that puts things into perspective.
See, I think what doesn't make it as perfect to me as like the Lord of the Rings trilogy is like Batman Begins is good. Like I know it's a great film, but it's not one that I like to rewatch because I want to watch Batman for Batman, and that's like his whole like coming to be Batman, you know? So I'm just like not as interested in it. I've always been obsessed with Batman as a kid, and like so the Joker is super cool. Heath Ledger obviously gave, you know, a crazy performance as Joker, and then Bane was just so cool to me because like I love Tom Hardy. He's got traps of, you know, like steel, like I wish I had those traps, but I don't know, that it was just so freaking good. And then again, Christopher Nolan, you know, it's just like the perfect trifecta. But yeah, I'd probably still take Lord of the Rings if I was on a desert island over that.
Okay.
Which is crazy, but I can't believe I said it. Yep. All right, well, cool. I have no more questions unless you can think of any off the top of your head.
Well, nah. I'm trying to, but maybe. We'll see.
It's all good. Don't got to force it.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you guys for watching if you've made it this far, and then don't forget to check out Aaron's channel. I'll link it up here too, and then subscribe to mine if you haven't already, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
There you guys.